Hi, everybody. This is what we call multitasking. I'm going to talk, and you're going to eat, and you're going to listen, okay? And then we have some participation later as we go on the program. So good evening, I'm Lynne Bassett Perry. I am currently the chair of the Valley Community Foundation, and I'm finishing out my 7th year, my end of my term, and it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm so pleased to be here tonight to greet you all. Thank you for coming on this chilly May evening. We picked the venue because of its beautiful views and beautiful deck. There were some golfers out there, but they were kids, so they probably had to come. But I promise, Mother Nature will cooperate. We will have sun soon. So before we get started, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our elected officials who were able to make it tonight. It is a busy time of year for our officials, and quite a few did have to send their regrets. But we've got Derby Mayor Rich Zekin, our Seymour First Selectman Kurt Miller, and representing Senator Chris Murphy is Ben Florsheim. So thank you for taking your time out. We have a great program planned for you, and we invite you to continue the celebration with us at the end of the evening. This year marks the 15th anniversary of the Valley Community Foundation. Right, 15 years. And so much has been accomplished over the past 15 years, and we have a large team that we need to thank for our success. A strong board is an important part of our team, leading and guiding strategy, development, and governance. This year, we are happy to announce the addition of Terry Jones and Tom Supnick to our board. However, we've been here 15 years, and I don't know what took them so long. So now this is where we're going to have a little interaction. I'd like all past and current board members and members of our Board Advisory Council to please stand. Don't be shy. And Fred, I know you're here. Unfortunately, the Valley lost a really strong advocate for change this past year with the passing of Karen Stanek. Karen served on our board from 2013 to 16, and we extend our condolences and our thoughts and prayers to Fred and his family. The staff at VCF is critical to our success. It's the engine that gets us to our destination. So on behalf of the board and the entire Valley community, I'm now going to ask our staff to please stand. Most of them are probably running around anyway. Thank you so much to Sharon, Beth, John, Paola, and Val. We really couldn't do it without you. And much like the engine of VCF, we get our fuel and our critical maintenance from our partner in philanthropy, the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, who we fondly refer to as TCF. Would members of our TCF board and staff please stand? All right, you guys can all rest for a little bit. So 15 years, a lot can happen in 15 years. The Boston Red Sox won 4 World Series titles. And I'm a diehard Yankees fan. Alexa and Siri are now members of our homes. And we've seen 21 bachelors and 13 bachelorettes find love. Also, and Bachelorette started last night for anyone that was watching. Also, over the past 15 years, we have received over $9 million from our partner, TCF. Total gifts received from individual donors and fund holders exceeds $23 million. VCF now has nearly 200 funds valued at a little over $25 million, which means we have been able to distribute 3,855 grants to the Valley community in excess of $13 million. That deserves a round of applause. So 2018 was an exciting year as part of our 15 years. We welcomed 11 new funds last year, most of which you will hear about this evening. We received more than $3.5 million in total contributions, and we awarded nearly $2 million in grants. Over the course of the evening, you're going to hear about many of the important highlights from 2018. You'll learn a bit more about our VCF's Collective Impact Initiative, as well as what is on the horizon for philanthropy in the Valley. We will then introduce the new funds that were established before we close out the program. One of the most substantial and impactful developments for our region last year was the renewal of our affiliation agreement with TCF. This marked the fourth such agreement between our two permanent community endowments. Unlike previous agreements, this latest one will govern the relationship for the next decade. This latest affiliation agreement underscores the strength and bond of the relationship between our two organizations. It has been instrumental in making it possible for VCF to connect, build, and expand the possibilities for community philanthropy in the Valley. As with previous agreements, TCF will continue to provide back office support to VCF and annually distribute the equivalent of 90% of the distributable amount of the Gates Fund to VCF. Historically, that amount has been approximately $1.1 million per year, which VCF in turn reinvests those dollars into resources, initiatives, and a diversified grant program to benefit the Valley. As many of you know, the Gates Fund was established in Derby by Derby brothers Frank and Ross Gates more than a half century ago at TCF for the benefit of the Valley. And as Mary Ann and Jen will talk to you about later, we're always looking for the next Gates brothers. So tag your siblings. During these times, it is becoming increasingly dependent on citizenry to build, protect, and enhance the vibrancy of our community. We are confident that our strategic grant making will help provide a reliable source of funding during a time of financial uncertainty. One of the many benefits of our affiliation agreement allows us to support Valley nonprofits during the Great Give. Okay, ready? Now we get interactive again. Do you remember these from last year? You should all have a paddle. Green is yes, red is no. Quick show of paddles. How many of you participated in the Great Give? Oh, very nice. So I won't tell you how to do it next year because I think you already know. How many of you work for a nonprofit that participated? Oh, that's great. The Great Give raised $1.8 million overall for the greater New Haven area. The Valley raised close to $300,000. To support the Great Give, VCF contributed more than $25,000 in matching dollars and special prizes. So congratulations to all of you. So I've got some pretty big shoes to fill this year because Alan Tima concluded his tenure as VCF board chair. We are both thankful and fortunate to Alan as he will remain on the board for the remainder of this year. I don't know where he is.
He's over here.
There he is. Thank you, Alan, for all your continued support and your dedication. There is someone, however, who has concluded his board term at the end of 2018, and that is none other than Jimmy Ryan. And as a special form of appreciation to Jimmy, I would like to distinguish our former board member who honorably completed his terms for both VCF and TCF concurrently at the end of 2018. While our next speaker, Will Ginsberg, will have some sentiment to share with you about Jimmy's service on both boards, here's my version of a verbal word cloud to describe Jimmy. So picture a word cloud. We don't have any audio visual here. And Jimmy, you're gonna have to come up for this. So So I asked for some input for adjectives and words, first words that pop into your head when you just want to describe Jimmy. See, here we go.
Sorry. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Attentive, intelligent, fun, engaging, caring, articulate, fair, open-minded, sometimes, organized, a leader, collegial, approachable, diligent, insightful, kind, a gentleman, integrity, compassionate, polite, dedicated, family, collaboration, passionate, and talkative.
Wow.
So, on behalf of the board and the wider Valley community, we all thank Jimmy. And your parting gifts include, Post-it note. This is a picture, and it's in our annual report of the bridge. It's a little plaque that says "Grandkids make life grand." And I'm quite sure this is where you'll be spending a fair amount of time.
735-0494.
Okay, so this might be a mistake, but we have asked Jimmy, we have asked Jimmy to say a few words, but we all know how much Jimmy loves the microphone. We know he loves public speaking, and we don't have all night. So for the first time ever at an event like this, I'm gonna ask everyone to take out their phones and set your timer for 3 minutes. I'm not kidding. When the 3 minutes is up, and there's chimes and dings, that's when Will Ginsburg will come up. He will take the mic, using whatever means necessary. So go ahead, pull out your phones, 3 minutes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This doesn't count. I want an exemption. Thank you, Lynn. That was very kind, and I am very moved. In particular, I'm moved because anything that I've participated in, I've done with many of you. It has all been about, and John just meant, it's all about the team, and it's all about our family. And 3 minutes is impossible for me, but I want to just remember some people, because they were very special as we launched. And all of this work started 20 or 25 years ago with Alan Tima's leadership, Mary Pepe drawing me into the fray, teaching me that philanthropy isn't getting, philanthropy is giving and sharing. And then having an employer that allowed me, and many people don't, we're looking for new volunteers all the time, but my employer, the Shelton Economic Development Corporation, was very generous and allowed me to spend time on this, a lot of time on this. And I had people like Ken Scheibel and Bill Bassett and others who encouraged me. Philanthropy is not a new concept in the Valley. The Valley Community Foundation didn't create it. You remember, some of you will remember names like Raymond Levites and the Miller family, and I think I saw Peter Francini here, his dad, Fuzzy Francini, and many, many others were so generous in the Valley. And our team helped bring that into focus and strengthen our team immeasurably. I have to thank the Valley Advisory Committee. A number of you were participants in that. Worked for almost a decade on developing and grooming the relationship, or they were grooming the relationship, but grooming the relationship with New Haven, which gives us our core strength and helps us with resources. I saw Jamie Cohen looking at, or listening to the 3,000 grants that have been given out, and I remember one of the affiliation agreements, the negotiations was about making sure that we had resources available to become a player in the valley, and we have. The partner, and they treat us as equal partners. The Community Foundation of Greater New Haven is amazing. You do not find organizations or leaders like Will Ginsburg and board members that we've dealt with that are willing to share in this process. You know, everybody wants to retain resources for themselves. They've looked at what our needs are, what their responsibilities are in the district, and they recognize that we have a leadership team that's up to it, and we still do. So 25 years has gone like lightning. I've treasured every minute of it. I know I saw Kurt's here from Seymour. I would tell you when we launched, the mayors were there. The mayors were there. Mayor Loretti was present. Mayor Della Volpe was present. So this started again with Alan. That 3 minutes is up. I just want to say one last thing, because I'm sentimental about the Valley. I love the Valley, and I know that all of you love it as much as I do. Bless you all. Thank you. I love to talk. I can't give this up, Bill. You're going to have to take it. I love Will Ginsburg, too.